Hi everyone, and welcome to our Christmas star card class today. Today we're going to make a really cute 4x4 little star card that you can use as a Christmas decoration. So I've done the bulk of my prep work already, so I've cut my 4x4 squares. I've scored the bulk of them and folded them and got them ready to go. I will show you one. I'm going to emboss in gold on one of these. I've actually got just a plain wooden bead and some black ribbon to put on. If you can find a bead with a hole big enough to feed your ribbon through, you can use any colour you like. Same with the ribbon. You could use gold ribbon or silver ribbon to match. I just happen to have black, so I've decided to use that one. I also keep a skewer handy so you can push the ribbon through if it's a bit of a tight fit. And I'm going to emboss on the front of mine as well. So just one thing to be mindful of if you're going to emboss, if you're using a very fine writing stamp, if you can see that it's actually really fine. Some of the chunkier ones are okay, but if you're using the fine ones, make sure you get a super fine embossing powder, otherwise you find it won't work as well, because you want that really crisp, clear image of what you're stamping. So with the chunkier stamps, your chunky embossing powder or your normal embossing powder will work, but just for the finer writing ones, try and use the finer embossing powder. So all I'm going to do, I just need to score one. So I'm going to start with that. So my 4x4 square, I want this pattern to be my main pattern. This one can be on the inside. So what you need to do first, once you've cut them, is push the side of the pattern. If you're using double-sided pattern, put the pattern you want to show facing down, score it, flip it around, score it again. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can just fold them, flip it over so your pattern side is up, and then score it from one corner to the other corner, and that is it. So once you've done that, all you need to do, still need the bone folder, all you need to do, get that out the way. So you've scored it so as you can fold it that way. So all you need to do then is fold it over, make sure it all lines up. It's going to be stubborn. Line up. Line it up as best you can. Do the same on the other side. Just make sure that they're straight. And burnish those. Then you want to flip it over and fold it on that score line. So make sure it's nice and straight, and then burnish those as well. Then you'll find that once your pattern side that you're going to have showing is facing up, these will fold downwards. So all you need to do, push those in and then burnish all of your folds just to make sure it's not going to pop open all the time. And that is pretty much it. So all you need to do then is put your double-sided tape on one side. Just making sure I get the bottom one. I've got my double-sided tape on here for my ribbon. So that one will go on the bottom. So that one's got none on, so that will be the top. So in the instructions, I refer to a closed end and an open end. So your open end is the side that is actually going to open up, and your closed corner is this one. So I didn't line that one up very well. Yeah, so your closed corner is actually the middle of your piece of cardstock. So that's your open end and your closed end. So all I'm going to do now is join them all together, and it's just a matter of making sure that you line them all up with your open end to your open end and your closed end to your closed end. So just line each one up straight if possible, each one up in the corner. Just do that for all of your squares. So corner to corner, straighten it up a bit. You can see mine's going to be a little bit wonky, but as long as you're making sure that they're all lined up and nice and straight, it'll work fine. So the next one, and it's as quick and simple as this, and when you're finished you've got a little tree decoration that you can hang on the tree, and you can have it open or closed. And it's a little star. So just adding on my last one. So this is why you need to make sure all your lines are burnished, so you're not fighting trying to keep the card closed while you're sticking it together. So that is pretty much it, and then when it opens up, and you've got a star that way and a star that way. So even if your pieces aren't completely lined up properly, it will still work. So okay, so the next thing I need to do, this one's my back. So all I'm going to do, I've put my double-sided tape so it goes up to the open end, so that end. So I'm just going to thread my bead through my ribbon first. So I've got roughly a 12-inch piece of ribbon. So I'm just folding it in half, and then fold that top bit in half as well, and then feed it through the bead. If it doesn't go right through easily, just push it through with your skewer. Okay, so my bead actually fits really well, but if you've got a bead that has a lot bigger hole in it, just tie a knot in the end, and then that way your bead is going to stay on there no matter what. So even though this is quite firm in the bead, I'm still tying that on so as someone doesn't accidentally pull it off. So now that I've done that, so I've got my open end, so all I'm going to do is put my ribbon down, and you can have as much hanging out as you like, doesn't really matter. I like it a little bit longer. So I might go a little bit longer than that. So I might go to about there. Then that way when you're opening it, it's going to open quite easily and it'll all be good. So I've got my tape on my piece of card already. So I've got this one. So I'm going to actually put that on and leave it plain. You could emboss on there if you wanted to, or you could actually write on there as well. So I'm going to leave it plain because I may use a gold gel pen and write something on there. So this one's going to have double tape. Double tape. So I'm just going to pull that off so it doesn't come off. So these little squares are a little bit smaller than your actual square itself, but yeah, it just gives it a tiny little border. So again, I'm going to put this on, make sure my ribbon is flat, and put my other piece on that side. So that opens up. So when you open it, your ribbon will just go around, and then you can pull your bead down, and that holds it open as well. So now that we've done that, I'm going to emboss. So I'm just using some gold embossing today. I've got a little Christmas present stamp that I'm going to put on. Now I know my whole stamp won't fit on, but I'm going to put most of it on. But I'm not actually worried that it doesn't fit on properly. So there's that. Sprinkle on your embossing powder. Make sure you've got plenty on there. Give it a little tap. Yep. Put the lid on so we don't spill it everywhere. And I'm just going to heat up my heat gun first, and then do my embossing. Okay, so that's done. I'm just going to cool it down a minute and then put my double-sided tape on the back. You just want to make sure it's cooled down so it doesn't stick to anything. Find my other piece. Yep. Doesn't want to sit flat now. So I'm just going to stick that on, and that is pretty much our card done. Just make sure if you've got something on this side, make sure they're both up the correct way. If you've got words or something you want to put on, you can stamp them across this way, so when it hangs, your words are actually up straight. So this one's on a bit of an angle, but you know, yeah, just make sure that you get it in the right direction. So there is our card, and I don't know, that's probably the back and this one's probably the front, but it doesn't matter, it sort of works anyway. So there you have it. So once you've done, you close it up, keep it closed using the bead, pull it open and hang it on the tree. So it is as easy as that. So you got to start that way. So you can see you've got the little bits out here that add to it, and then same that way. So there you are. So that's our star card for today. You decorate it with lots of different bits of bling or die cuts, anything you like. So nice and quick and easy, and something for the tree. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you in another class soon.